Hi, I'm Roshni Das, Marketing Director for Intel India, and I thank you today for taking some valuable time to join us for this 10-minute session. As mentioned earlier, for those who can't make it live, these sessions are available on demand. Be safe and stay healthy. The topic today is modern marketing at scale. Through the next 10 minutes, I'll focus first on the key trends that marketers will see over the next 12 to 18 months. And then, closer home, I'll provide an example of how we use modern marketing internally so that you can use it if you find it relevant. One of the most important lessons that we have learned in the pandemic is technology is essential rather than optional. Whether it's for delivery of healthcare, services and products, or just infrastructure for us to stay connected and to communicate. Over the last 18 months or so, technology has also played a foundational role in how brands communicate to customers. Companies that are underinvested will have to make quick organizational changes to stay relevant and to be in service of the customer during these times. We will now focus on the 4 key trends outlined here. The first one I'd like to touch upon is purpose-led marketing. This is a very important time for marketers to focus on responsible marketing. According to a recent Accenture survey, 81% of consumers want companies to take a stance on social, cultural, and environmental issues. Many brands have risen to serving the customer on issues that are close to their heart. Taking an example closer home, Intel has launched the Pandemic Response Technology Initiative, a commitment to use technology to combat the effects of COVID-19. Today, we have 230 projects across 170 organizations. Many brands have also pivoted to serving customers through product innovations and services, and educating campaigns have been launched, which are the need of the hour. Intel launched PC Pathshala to help navigate online learning woes, and we also, as an example, customized our IoT products to create contactless healthcare solutions. The other big focus area is sustainability. Enterprises are evaluating sustainability goals. The pandemic has taught us how fragile our communities and the planet we live in are. Intel announced its corporate responsibility goals RISE, which is responsible, inclusive, sustainable goals enabled through technology, focusing on key issues like reducing the digital divide, climate change, online learning, and more importantly, the challenges of the pandemic. The second focus area is going to be co-creation and partnerships. While co-creation, user-generated content has been there, over the last 12 months, we have also seen a huge increase in cross-alliances on product innovation and research, for instance, pollination of ideas for reach, co-creation through our influencers and opinion leaders, and more importantly, citizen contribution. We have seen a huge wave of citizens and consumers solving for larger causes as seen during the pandemic. Intel has always put a premium on co-marketing and co-engineering and co-working with our industry and ecosystem partners. Some examples are the work we've done with EdTech and educators around education, as I called out earlier, working with our influencers and reviewers in the gaming segment, telling the stories of digital transformation for our enterprises through customer success stories, or co-engineering products with our customers and OEMs, as we have done recently on the Intel Evo platform. Social has also democratized content where your advocates are telling the stories of the brand on your behalf. The third important vector is reimagining customer experiences virtually. With people still being wary of personal interaction, engaging them in digital formats is going to remain a challenge. Responsive conversational marketing is going through use of technology is going to become pivotal. Retraining our customer service executives, our customer care executives will be essential because we no longer have physical and social cues. Allowing our customers to reach us when they're ready is another focus brands will have to pivot to. Later on, I will talk about how we have looked at customer experience virtually on the back of 2 product launches recently done. The last vector is personalization at scale. This is a forum on modern marketing, and we must talk about capabilities and tools. More than ever, many companies use analytics and listening not only to determine the communication timing and efficiency, but also to inform critical decisions for the company. Social listening, consumer and customer conversations have provided a lot of valuable inputs today to make very informed decisions in service of the customer, as well as to drive company growth. Investing in marketing technologies and reassessing tools for marketing is becoming very, very important. Rather than looking at many technologies and expanding your tech stack, customers must looking at tech stacks to be smarter, to be more streamlined, and to be more connected. At Intel, we have adopted a customized proprietary self-service dashboard connecting various tools and capabilities that present the entire customer lifecycle through our segments. I hope you found these trends valuable, and I also would love to hear if you think that similar trends are what you are implementing in your organization. I will now pivot to a customer experience example in the virtual environment. I picked two examples, different, so that you get a flavor of the different approaches when we look at virtual marketing through events. Intel launched recently on September 2020, the 11th Gen Intel Core processor. It was by far the company's largest virtual event, given the fact that we had to implement so many social distancing measures. It was the industry's first to be produced on a sophisticated extended reality stage, or XR. Today, everyone's looking at events to be more engaging and more interactive, literally to have a very interesting story arc, almost like a mini movie, and it's going to challenge the traditional ways that we go into production. For this event, we partnered with Intrepid Studios. It was produced at Intrepid Studios, where our executives stood on a large LED stage alongside our display tables, our products for showcase, and blended seamlessly into the virtual environment. This was rendered real-time on the Unreal Content engine. Disney has used similar XR tech recently to produce The Mandalorian, and many singers like Katy Perry and Alicia Keys have also used extended reality to make their connection to the consumers more real. To give you a sense of the numbers, in less than a week, we had about 20,000 people that we had reached, our press, our analysts, and our customers, and our employees, of course. And the cost of event was roughly on par with an in-person event, except that it has longevity and it had extended reach. Mark Pedersen, the CEO of Intrepid, calls XR the future of digital storytelling, and I agree with him. Today, events are going to force you to think, to plan, to test, and will give you the flexibility to place your executives in various realistic scenes. And like I said, you can create very interesting story arcs through technology being the backbone. And of course, last-minute diving catches are not going to be an option. The second example that I'd like to focus on is the recent data-centric launch of the Ice Lake 3rd generation Xeon processor launch. Here, we did use technology as a background to drive engaging immersive experiences, but we also hosted this event on an open platform, which is Intel.com. The open platform has the advantage of allowing our customers and our consumers to engage not only in the keynote, but a lot of vertical specific sessions, as well as engaging with demos that were gamified for this experience. I talked about co-creation and partnerships, very important, because the craft of building a B2B brand is about relationship building through sustainable solutions for your customers. It needs an implicit commitment to be there to help the transformation objectives that our customer wants through knowledge transfer and working alongside them to co-engineer and co-enable. A testimony of the fact of working so closely with our customers for the success is the marquee customers that we had at this event talking about how they would use Intel technologies for their digital transformation objectives. An equally important piece across launches are not to forget your most important customers and your most important advocates, and those are your employees. especially with our employees working closely, engaging our teams as part of the big goals that we take is going to be essential. At Intel, we launched watch parties with some fun quizzes, and we also engaged with various social platforms, for example, Spotify, to bring together a curated song list around the theme. Virtual events are going to be the mainstay, but what is important is not only to interact with your customers and your audience at that point in time, but continue the journey, right? So if you look at the 4 vectors on the slide, I talked about the interesting open platforms. I talked about co-creation and partnerships. But most importantly is the last 2 vectors, which is listening, acting, and measuring. Intel has a state-of-art digital hub in Singapore, which uses a whole set of tools and analytics to look at listening signals, through trending externally, as well as their journeys on our web experience. Post that, it's very essential that we continue to stay connected with our customers through personalized content or sales workshops, or just a nurture strategy to help them reach the objectives in the areas of focus for them. I'd like to stop here, but I do hope you found this 10 minutes useful. I'd like to reiterate 3 key messages. Digitization is inevitable, and technology is going to be essential rather than optional. This year and next is going to be pivotal to drive the human connection and customer experiences virtually. And MarTech is going to help us reimagine that customer experience, operational efficiency, help co-create content, and focus on reshaping our service delivery to present unique opportunities, both in service of the customer and to drive unique business opportunities. Thank you for being here. Stay healthy and be safe.